Alright, so this video will connect my old Samsung S3 Frontier, which I really like this watch. I have the Active 2 now, but as I'm holding this, I really like this watch. If it was previously connected, you'll have to connect to a new phone and that will wipe it. So it'll start resetting. We've only had this for a couple hours, but the fingerprint seems to work pretty good. I mean, I might not on an angle because I'm trying to film it while I do it, but when I'm just setting it up, it seemed to work pretty great. So normally in my videos when I connect phones, you'll have to install all this Samsung stuff, but since this is a Samsung phone, it has Galaxy Wear pre-installed. So that's pretty great, or at least easy of use for installing it. So again, this phone was on this is the T-Mobile phone. This is also a T-Mobile watch. I turned the cellular data off on this one though, because I use this one, but I kind of like this one better. I'll say you should always charge these watches before you do it because the reset process eats a lot of battery up. Alright, so now that this thing is booting back up, we'll go ahead and start this process. So you open up the wearable. This is the first time we've used it on this phone, of course. This guy's still setting up. So let's hit get started. And then you'll find your watch. The Gear S3 is still on here, so you can look at that. If you didn't have it, it still works. Like my son has the S2. And it still works, but you just gotta search for it. This one just has an icon just to help you out. So you can see it's the Gear S3 Frontier. So you can see the Let's Go on here, and I'll set the S3 here, and it will ask you. So you gotta allow permissions on here, of course, privacy features. See, the battery's pretty low already. So we get you a little check mark option. So let's connect. Let's connect. Yeah, see, it's already down 7%. It was at 80% before I was doing that, or 1%. That was really the reason I replaced it, because this battery was a lot better. But so you could do the backups, but I don't need it. And you should have some updates. I'm just going to do update all. Alright, so we're charging. There's a new version of watch software, of course, because I haven't used this watch in a long time. And the battery's too low to update it, but that's fine. I like to go to notifications and then advanced notifications. No. Turn that on. Go here and go to all, and then turn notifications on for all apps. That way I don't have to worry about missing things. And then let's go to the apps and look for into it. Like usually the weather needs locations added, but it gets it just fine. All right, so once it charges up a little bit, we'll show a couple more. We'll do a software update, and I'll show you a couple of cool features. So like, well, there's a cool feature here. Like, say you lost your watch. Find my watch. Obviously, it's right here. But if you wanted to look for it, you can just do this. And see, the watch will notify itself. You can exit out. Alright, and then the same feature is available on the watch itself. There you go, there's Find My Phone. And you click on this. So that's pretty cool, right? You know, obviously the watches, the Find My Watch is a little less useful because I always have the watch tied to my arm, but in theory you could drop your phone out of your pocket somewhere, and if the watch is nearby you could make that alert like that and find your phone pretty quickly. Even if it's on silent, I think I'll make it make noise. Yeah, we'll add some more stuff in a minute. I do change this too, the double tap from home. I changed that to music. Alright, so now it's been a couple days, as you can see. He's Had this for a while. He's had it set up. We switched it to his watch. I guess while we're here, let's just have a little speed test action. So you can see this watch is set up. This is a Samsung phone, so he's been using Samsung messages. So normally you would just be able to see the current message, like the notification. So since he has Samsung messages, you should be able to click here. So you can see there's a message from me. Alright, and then now if I text him, it should pop up on the watch and the phone. So you can see there on the watch it popped up. On the phone it popped up, and it should pop up over here. And then you can reply on the watch. You have these built-in responses. Or if you hate yourself, you can try to type on this thing like this. If you wanted to like try to write something in there, you can try to do that. You can see the Twitter just popped up. So, but I would not do that, right? In theory, you could also use the voice chat with the reply. There's an option for the voice chat, or you could just put a emoji. And you can see I got that. Check the weather, of course. Oh, then I think you can actually even go in here. If you go to messages, no, go to settings. So here you can change your responses. So like say, like I used to have driving on here. And so then if I wanted to do a quick reply, I could just tap it while I'm driving. Obviously you probably shouldn't do that either, but that's how I would do it. So that's pretty cool. This has a speaker, so in theory you could take a phone call on it. This one, depending on the Samsung Watch version, it could have LTE. It could make phone calls directly from it. Just depends on which one you're using, of course. On here, of course, you can use your phone, your contacts, Samsung Health, calendar, S-Voice, which you won't use, settings, weather, and then just flips to the next page. So I do use this a lot where you set an alarm. So let's add an alarm. Right now it's 3:30. Alright, so now it's 3:35. We set it for 3:37 p.m. We're just going to save it. And the alarm was set for 2 minutes from now. So if you're asleep, then you can wear these watches like mine. I wear asleep while I'm asleep, and the alarm will go off and it doesn't make noise, it just buzzes on your wrist, and it kind of wakes you up more peaceful than a loud ass alarm. Some of these apps are on the older version, so I probably wouldn't use them. If you use the built-in Samsung email client, you can also go through your emails. Like for Gmail, it will connect and you will just get the notification and you can hit those built-in replies like that. But with this email, you can go through your actual email account if you wanted to, but again, I would not want to do that. The yellow dot means you have a notification, so if you slide over, you see it has a stupid Twitter notification, and then you can adjust these over here accordingly. So let's let the alarm go off. So I don't know if you can hear that in here, probably can't. It doesn't, I don't know if that's gonna work, but it's buzzing ever so slightly, and then you can just knock it off like that. Alright, so that's just the watch. Like I said, you can put any watch on these phones, right? And this is a Samsung phone, so it's gonna work better. If you have a non-Samsung phone, you can connect it. But obviously there's better integration if you have a Samsung watch and a Samsung phone. I've had the watches for a long time. I tried the Fitbit version. I hated it. I had Wear OS watches before, and I don't like them as much. My wife has an Apple Watch, but I don't think you can use on Android. As far as Android phones go, you're much better off getting a Samsung watch. They're way better than the alternatives. And just for shits and giggles, we'll do a speed test here. I have a separate video testing the speeds, but obviously this is a couple days later, and we'll see if it hits that 5G. It's not. It's still on 4G here. We're in my house in Louisville, Kentucky, in my basement. So still solid numbers for 4G LTE. It's just not the full 5G speeds what we want, but you will get them. We've had them in the past. You can see the results when we hit 5G here and here a couple times. So. Alright, thanks for checking me out. Feel free to ask questions about the phone. We're going to have more videos coming up, playing games in this, and checking out, see what kind of features work on it, and a full review. But so far, we're a big fan of the phone. The screen's gorgeous, the features work. It does not have wireless charging, but for the most part, it is eerily similar to my Note 10 Plus. Alright, thanks for checking this out. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and while you're here, go ahead and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Alright, later.